Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the review for this Microsoft Surface Go. And actually the Surface Go was just launched in India, but I had purchased this one from US and I have been actually using it for the last 4 months. You really need this accessory if you're going to buy this one. This is known as the Surface keyboard, Surface Go keyboard, and it attaches magnetically, and I had purchased this one from India. Again, I feel the pricing is slightly on the higher side in India, and this actually comes in two variants. This is the base variant that I'm using, and in US it was for about $400 before tax, so I paid about $430, but in India it's around 37,000. And there is also another higher end variant. The processor is the same, but that comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it has 128 gigabytes of storage, which is actually SSD. This one actually comes with 4 gigabytes RAM, but just 64 gigabytes of internal storage. But again, I feel this is a very niche product, and I'll talk about my experience because I also have the Surface Pro 4. If you guys have been following me for years, I think so. I got this about 2.5 to 3 years ago, but I was not very happy with this one. And last year I had also got the iPad Pro, as you can see, with this keyboard and stuff. So I have the entire package. And guys, none of these products are review units or anything like that. I have purchased them, so I'll share my experience. But before that, let me just quickly give you the specs of this Surface Go. The Surface Go has a 10-inch Pixel Sense touchscreen, which is in the 3:2 aspect ratio. It's powered by the Intel Pentium Gold dual-core processor, which is clocked at 1.6 gigahertz. It also has the Intel HD 615 integrated graphics. It comes in 4 gigabytes or 8 gigabytes of RAM, and storage will be 64 or 128. It also has built-in support for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. It also has pen supports, and the battery Microsoft claims about 9 hours, but I'm getting anywhere around 4 to 5 hours on this. So let's talk about my experience of this one and what I really like about this one. I would say now it has sort of replaced my iPad Pro that used to be always in my bag, and this one has replaced it. But guys, this is not a perfect device in any aspect, I would say. First, let's talk about the portability, because this is the thing that I really like. And as you can see, I'm holding it in a single hand. It's about 0.52 kgs. Hence, it's very easy to hold. And as you can see, what I really like about this device is this kickstand, which the iPad or any other tablet does not have. So you can actually move it to any angle, keep it on the desk, however you want, keep it on your lap. So this is very convenient, and it goes in infinite positions. So it's very easy to get the best position you want to have when you want the tablet experience, or even when you have attached the keyboard to the same. So this is a game changer, I feel, and every tablet should actually have it, and it's very sturdy. Now moving to the build quality, here also I like the build quality. It's not cheap plastic, it's magnesium. In fact, it's the same build quality that you expect on the bigger brother, that's the Surface Pro 4. So the build quality is really nice, doesn't feel cheap. But moving to the ports, again, as it's a very portable computer, you have very limited ports. You have the 3.5mm headphone jack, you have the USB Type-C port, and I'm very happy that they have given this. And we also have a Surface connector, and in the box you get nothing. You just get the tablet and this charger, which is the Surface connector. You also get Surface dock and stuff. Those are different accessories. I didn't opt for that. And you can charge it with this one, but you can even charge it with this USB Type-C port. And guys, about 90% of the time I'm actually charging it with just the USB Type-C port. You can just plug it in and it just charges. So that is very convenient on this one. And on this end we actually have nothing, and on the top we have the power button and the volume rockers. So it's very comfortable to hold. Moving to the screen, it's having a 10-inch screen, and I would say the screen quality is actually really good, and it's a touch screen that we have on this one. Let me just go here, and these are the apps that are running. By default, it would be in the Windows S mode, and I used it in the Windows S mode for a while, but after a week or so you have to just go to the control panel if you just want to go to the regular Windows 10. What is this Windows S mode? Windows S mode is again Windows 10 only, but it won't allow you to install third-party apps, only apps from the Windows Store. But I found the app selection to be lacking on the Windows Store, and for even if you want to install the Chrome web browser, it was not there. But I need Chrome for some of the extensions that I use. So I just got out of the Windows S mode. I'm now using it in the regular Windows mode, and it works very well. Let me just go back to the regular mode. This is the regular mode. As you can see, this is the Windows 10 that we expect. So it's the regular Windows 10, and I was very worried how would be the performance. Don't get me wrong, guys, it's not a monster like a, what do you say, i5 or something. It's a pretty slow processor. It's a Pentium Gold dual core processor that's clocked at 1.6 gigahertz. But if you know the limitations of that one, it works. And this is the lower end variant, guys. This comes with 4 gigabytes of RAM. And then also, I'm able to use it fairly well. As you can see, this is actually, what do you say, Chrome web browser, and have a couple of tabs. I also have the Edge browser, and as you can see, several apps are there. And it does actually pretty decent job of multitasking, even with multiple tabs. I have about 8 tabs over here, and in Chrome I have about 3. Hence, you can move around with this one. Yes, you might notice some occasional lag, half a second here and there, but for the most part, it is good. You can use it without this keyboard, and I used it for the last couple of months without that. But when you have this one, it changes the entire experience, because let's get it right, guys, Windows 10 is still not very friendly with touch. Even the virtual keyboard and stuff, sometimes it is slow to react. So that way, I would say this is a must-have accessory, and I really like this keyboard because it just attaches magnetically like this to it, and it also has the trackpad, which is actually really good. So you get that mouse support, which on a Windows computer is so important. So that way, I feel the keyboard is really important to this device. Without the keyboard, you won't get the full experience. And also, I like the fact that the key travel is really good, and also the backlighting on the keyboard is there. So even in dark situations, you can adjust the backlighting. So I really like the keyboard on this, and the feel is good. Yes, the keyboard is slightly cramped compared to a normal laptop, but after 2-3 days of usage, you will get used to the same. Now moving to the speaker, it has 2 front firing speakers, and actually they do a pretty good job. Let me actually play one of my own videos to give you an idea. As you can see, this is my own video.
Hi there, this is Ranjit,
and I'm going to increase the volume.
We'll be doing the comparison between the Poco F1 and the Nokia 8.1. Just a couple of days ago, I had posted the full review of the
So
Nokia
as you can see,
8.1.
the speakers are actually pretty decent on this one. Not an issue. And also, I would say the touch response is good on the tablet. It's not like the touch response is laggy. So in that respect, Microsoft has done a good job. And even I like the screen quality. Generally, in budget laptops and stuff, the screen quality is a compromise, but that's nothing like that on this one. Now moving to the cameras, again, as it's a tablet, they have cameras. I don't know, I personally don't use it a lot, but I have to say, even the front facing camera, which is actually a 5 megapixel, actually works very well. And the back camera is actually 8 megapixels, so you can use it in a pinch if you want. Also, I like the fact that Microsoft did not compromise on this one, and this one actually has that facial recognition that is known as Windows Hello. So you just look at the computer and it works, and it logs you in, and that also actually works very well on this one. So again, I feel it's sort of a mini computer, and in that respect, it actually works pretty well. But again, don't expect it to compete with a dedicated laptop or something like that. If you are expecting that, or if you are expecting that you would do video editing and heavy task on that, this one you will be disappointed. So to summarize, I would say this is not for everyone, because in India the pricing is actually pretty high of this laptop. The base variant starts at 37,000, and you don't get the keyboard. Actually, I feel you need the keyboard for the full functionality. I also like the fact that as you can see, you're going to use it like this, and you just keep the keyboard like this, and this device will go in standby. You don't have to worry. Just do it like this, press the power button, and then it'll log you in as using the Windows Hello. As you can see, it logged in. So in that way, it's good. And in fact, I didn't have any power issues also with this one. When I'm just keeping it like this, it's going to stand by and stuff. I had earlier problems with the Surface Pro where it used to drain battery. Now moving to the battery life, this is sort of actually pretty average in my experience. Generally, we compare tablets with iPads, and iPads give about 9 to 10 hours of battery life. This one, Microsoft claims about 9 hours of battery life, but in my testing, I was initially getting about 4.5 to about 4 hours of battery life. Now with updates, it has improved a little bit. Now I'm getting about 4.5 to about 5 hours, but nowhere near the claims that Microsoft have done, that is about 9 hours. So that is also one thing to note. But the good thing is that it can be charged with the USB Type-C, and in fact, if you have a power bank, a high ampere power bank, you can actually charge this on a go, and I have done that a couple of times. So that is a very convenient feature, the USB Type-C port on this one. So to summarize, what do I feel about this Surface Go? I feel the Surface Go is a lightweight portable computer first and a tablet second, but to get the full functionality, you have to actually go with the Surface keyboard. I would say it's a tablet second cause Windows 10 still is not fully optimized for touch, and it's primarily a desktop operating system, so you traditionally need a mouse support to get the full functionality. And also when we talk about Windows tablet apps, yes, Windows stores has tablet apps, but I feel it's nowhere near the polish of apps that we get with iOS, and also the apps situation, I would say it's pretty lacking. It's not like I haven't used tablet apps on this, for example Netflix etc work, but again, if we compare it to iPad, the selection of apps on the Windows Store is pretty limiting. So eventually you will be actually using this one with traditional Windows application, which is actually a good thing. But again, if you're going to use that, get this keyboard, because you will be requiring that trackpad. So who's this Surface Go for? I would say treat the Surface Go as a secondary computer. If you already have a good desktop computer or a good laptop, and you are a person who was always looking for a very lightweight computer that you can carry with you, then you can have a look at the Surface Go. But again, if this is going to be a primary computer, don't go for this, because the processor is a bit limiting. And again, at this price point, you can get full-fledged desktop computers or even laptops with Core i5 processor, which will easily beat it out. But again, if you are someone who can digest the price of this one with the keyboard and are always looking for a very lightweight computer that can be in your bag always, and in a pinch if you need to do something you can do with it, then you might like the Surface Go. And that's the reason I am liking the Surface Go, because as I've told you earlier, I was using the iPad, but the iPad, because of the iOS limitation, it simply does not even have a proper file system, let alone connecting accessories. And sometimes I feel, because iOS simply does not support the mouse, doing some of the tasks is very difficult. That was not the case with the Surface Go, because with this keyboard cover and stuff, I have complete access to Windows 10, and you can run proper apps and get real work done with this Surface Go. Yes, in terms of battery life, it's not as good as the iPad Pro, but for me personally, it has replaced the iPad Pro. And if I have to summarize what I like with this and what I do not like, I would say I like the fact that it is very lightweight, a portable computer. The kickstand functionality is something that really is very helpful on this. I don't know, once you start using a device with a kickstand, you will appreciate how good it is. And I like the flexibility of this. Let's say I don't need the keyboard, I can just remove it and use it just like a tablet mode. And yes, when I need to do some productive work like type emails or like letters and stuff, I can put the keyboard and use it. Moving to the cons, I would say the biggest con is the pricing in India. I feel the pricing in India is actually pretty high. The base variant starts at 37,000 and the 8GB variant is significantly priced higher. And when you add the price of that keyboard, then the pricing will be close to a proper laptop. So again, the pricing is very expensive in India. And also it has the Pentium Gold processor, which is actually not a very fast processor. Even a Core i3 will beat it in performance. And also the battery life, I feel, is strictly average at around 4.5 to 5 hours. So anyways, it's a pretty niche computer, as I've told you. I am liking it for my case scenarios, but for you, it might not be the ideal computer. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. And if you guys are still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.